guys, it's Ashley with Squared Up. Welcome to class today. Today we're going to focus on stretching and strengthening in the hip flexor and hip joint and cool down at the end. So if you'd like a little bit longer workout today, make sure to go check out the warm-up video where we go through some mobility exercises for shoulders and hips, and then you could add these together and have a great workout. All right, let's go ahead and start up at the top of our mat in our mountain posture. So come to nice, strong standing posture. Let's take a little zipper up to the belly button. Draw the belly button and the lower back together like magnets into the center of the body so that you are slightly tucking that tailbone under in a nice, tall, standing posture, protecting the lower back, strengthening in the core. Inhale, your arms up overhead. Soften at your knees, bend at your waist, and come into a gentle forward fold. Slide your hands up to your shins, nice flat back. Again, exhale, fold forward. One more breath here. Inhale, nice flat back, pressing the heart down forward, slightly lifting the tailbone, keeping the abs drawn in, and exhale, fold forward. Sweep your arms in circles, back up overhead. Inhale and exhale, back to forward fold. Soft knees, hands to your ankles or the floor. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold forward. One more big breath up. Circle your arms up overhead. And exhale, fold forward with soft knees. All right, let's hang tight right here for a second. And I just want to show you a little practice of being here in your forward fold. A lot of times we get the impression that to have super loose hamstrings, or the goal of this posture is to be able to put your hands on the ground with your legs totally straight, and maybe like your head is touching your legs. And everyone's forward fold is going to look different. But the most important part that we're really focused on here is lifting from the hips straight up. So as you can see, even with a little bit of a bend in your knees, you can still keep lifting. Let me turn here just a little bit sideways for you. You can still keep lifting the hips up to extend the stretch deeper up into the glutes and here at the attachment of your hamstrings. So without straightening your knees, lift from here, imagining, I don't know, you're like a puppet and somebody has strings and is just pulling you straight up from your sitting bones. Whoo, yeah, do you guys feel that? Yow. Good. Stay nice and soft with your belly and your spine reaching long towards the floor. Great. Okay, if you have some blocks, why don't you go ahead and grab those, one on either side of your mat. And if you don't, you can use the floor or maybe a stack of books. And place your hands on the floor. Just leave the blocks close by. We'll use those in a second. Let's go ahead and step back with the left leg. So go ahead and lower the left knee down and come up into a nice high lunge. So we're working here on core posture and stretching out the hip flexor. So again, we want to make sure we're not leaning forward, but that our shoulder, hip, and knee are stacked right up on top of each other in a straight line. So once you're nice and tall, you might even feel like you're slightly leaning back, but that's okay. We're going to drive this left hip forward. So we're kind of tucking in the pelvis under just a little bit to drive forward on this left hip, stretching through all of these tiny muscles connecting our pelvis to the femur. These are the muscles of our inner thigh, our groin, all the way down into the quadricep. These are called hip flexors that help to move our leg and our hip together. We get really tight in these muscles from sitting, and they're just short, tiny muscles that takes very specific small movements to stretch. So we have to do things where this hip and femur are nice in a straight line, and then we're stretching from the back. So we're really thinking about driving through forward to stretch those out. And let's add a little bit of trunk rotation into this at the same time. So inhale, both arms up. Bring the right arm forward, and we're going to open up to the left. Good. Inhale, back up, and let's go to the right. Left arm comes forward, and we'll open up to the right. Keep driving that left hip forward. Bring it back up to center, and then exhale, arms down to the side. Now this is where it might be really great if you have some books or some blocks you could use. Set them down on either side of your right foot. Keep your head and your chest lifted high so your spine stays nice and long. Then we're going to curl these toes back behind us and press up into our lunge. All right, and if you don't have blocks, then your hands are just going to be down here towards the ground, and this is just where we tend to hunch forward a little bit more. So if you can, try to lift up or even come up onto your leg if you don't have blocks, just to keep your spine in a nice long line. So we're staying right in here. Good. Lifting up, and now we're driving this right hip back behind. So pressing back in the hip to help stretch out on the right hamstring. So you can see this small movement, instead of being kind of down here, is we're just pressing that hip back. Good. Then we're going to tap this left knee down and lift it back up. Tap the left knee down and back up. One more time. Down and back up. Good. Let's hold here. Now we're going to lift up. So inhale, the arms away from the blocks, come all the way up. Arms come up overhead, and we're going to add in that trunk rotation. Right arm comes forward, open up to the left. Good. Swing it back, back up to center, and then open up the other way, twisting to the right. Good. Bring it back up to center, hands come back down to the blocks, keeping the chest lifted up nice and tall. Lower that left knee down. Good. Okay, set your blocks out of the way forward for just a second. Hands come down to the floor. Curl this left foot back one more time to come up into your high lunge position. Then bend the right knee, release it back, coming into plank. So here in our plank posture, still pulling our magnets together of the lower back and the belly, squeezing them in nice and strong through the core. Lower those knees down to the floor, hugging your elbows into the rib cage. Go ahead and lower yourself all the way down. Good. Take one little nice breath here in a resting posture. Good. Then press up through your hands. Lift your chin, your chest, and your belly up off the ground into a nice cobra. And release back down. Good. Come back up into your kneeling plank. Curl your toes underneath you. Press back up to plank. Engage the core. Spread your shoulder blades nice and wide. Broad upper back. Now bend the left knee. Step it through. And here we are on the opposite side. So let's go ahead and lower this right knee down. Bring it back up, nice and tall. Shoulder, hip, and knee are now stacked on the right side, and we're going to slightly tuck that tailbone under, pressing the right hip forward. Going through the same hip flexor stretch here now on the other side. So keep driving that hip forward. We're working on balance here. We are building some strength, especially through the glutes here as we're driving the hips forward in the stretch. Let's inhale. The arms come up, right arm comes forward, open to a twist. Good. Inhale, arms back up, and open up over to the right side. Good. Bring it back up. Exhale, hands come down. Reach forward. Grab those blocks, set them on either side of the left foot. Right toes are going to curl up behind you. Straighten that back leg. Lift up nice and tall. You can even stack your blocks up even higher to help you keep the chin and your chest lifted nice and tall. Chin is relaxed, so you're not arching, looking all around. Just try to keep it nice and neutral, feeling strong here. Let's tap that knee down 3 times. Nice and controlled. And one more. We're going to hold this up here. Inhale, the arms come up. Okay, let's take just a second here to bring your hands down to your hips, and let's think about the posture in our pelvis here on this side. Instead of driving way far forward, we're gonna shift these hips back, just straighten that back leg behind us. Because really what we're working on here is not so much building strength in this front leg, but stretching this right hip flexor. So we're gonna shift the hips back, drive that heel down towards the floor. Inhale, the arms back up. Right arm comes forward, twist to the left. Good, bring it back up and twist over to the right. Good, bring it back up. Exhale your hands back down to the block. Move those out of the way, hands come all the way down. Release that right foot and left foot together to the back here in our plank. Nice and strong, hips lifted up. Draw the belly button in, away from the floor. Spread your shoulder blades wide. Fingers are wide on the mat. Slowly lower those knees down. Elbows hug in to your rib cage. Slowly lower down. Good. Inhale, press up. Stretch out that lower back. And exhale, release back down. Nice job. Press back up onto your knees, kneeling plank. Curl both toes underneath you. Press up to plank. Good. And from here, let's go ahead and lift the hips all the way up into our down dog. And then walk your feet forward up to your hands at the top of your mat. Good. Here we are in our forward fold. Soft knees, belly resting on the thighs. Drive those sitting bones up. Lift, tilt up a little bit higher. Good. Exhale. Inhale, slide your shins, hands along your shins to a flat back. Exhale, soften the knees. Fold forward and slowly roll it all the way up. Good. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, relax your hands down to the floor. Okay, if you have a yoga strap, go ahead and grab that and meet me in a seated position on the floor. I'm going to show you guys a couple of hamstring stretches, and then we will wrap it up for today's class. Okay, so we're going to strap one foot through on our strap, and then just keep the other leg nice and free. So we'll start on the right side. And then from here, we're going to have a nice controlled lowering of our upper body down to the mat. So draw the belly button in and scoop it up and underneath your rib cage. So you feel enough pull on that core that you eventually start to lower yourself down. Keep drawing the belly button in. Scoop it up underneath your rib cage and continue nice and controlled to lower all the way down. Now let's bend this left leg so your foot is flat on the ground. Go ahead and relax your head all the way to the floor. Draw this foot in the strap up towards the ceiling and keep your foot flexed. So as you're pulling on the strap, it's going to flex your foot. So you'll feel that stretch through your calf. Keeping this leg straight. So when you feel like you start drawing it in and your knee starts to bend, I want you to stop where it's straight. And just use the weight of your arms to create resistance, flexing that foot to increase your stretch. So if you can come closer and keep the leg straight, that's great, but as soon as your knee starts to bend, just pause right there and then pull on the strap. Lengthening this hamstring stretch down through the knee joint into the calf muscle. Okay, now we'll use the strap to help us move from the hamstring into some inner and outer thigh stretches. So on the right side, let's let the leg fall open to the right. So keep holding on to your strap and just let it fall open. If you don't have a strap, you could possibly do this exercise if you had a pretty long towel maybe that you could wrap around or tie a little loop at the end of a towel. Just relax here, letting gravity and the weight of your strap relax through the inner thigh. Now, using the strength of your adductor muscles, which are those running from the inside of your groin down to your inner knee, draw your leg back up to center. And then we're gonna cross over to the left side. And you may want to lower this left leg now and let this right leg fall across your body over to the left. Keep using the resistance of your arms pulling on the strap to help with your stretch. And please keep in mind, anytime we are doing stretches especially, part of these mobility training classes is teaching us when to push and when to rest, when to back off and not go too hard or too far. The point of these classes is to help us restore and prevent injury. So learning those places where we find the edge of a stretch that we may feel like, okay, I'm stretching, but this is not painful, and the line that crosses maybe into, okay, I've gone too far. So just being aware of that. The point of this is not pushing to look like a certain picture. It's really just working within your own body, which may be different one day than the next. So come on back to center, bend this knee and release your strap. Set that foot down and then bring your other foot into your strap. Straighten up here. Feet are flexed. Pull, creating some resistance with your arms. This leg stays straight, remember, and draw it into your chest as much as you can, keeping that leg nice and straight. Flexing that foot, bringing those toes down towards your kneecap as much as possible. How's the breathing going? Let's keep up with our breathing, nice and even through the nostrils. All right, and let's open up to the left side. Letting gravity be our friend. Stretching out through the inner thigh. Giving you a little moment of stillness and quiet here. All right, now with control, using the strength of your muscles, draw this leg back into the center. Good. Release the right leg down in front of you and draw the left leg over across your body to the right side. Try to keep both of your shoulder blades flat on the floor so that we're not extending this twist too far down into the lower back. So this hip is going to lift up, but let's try and do our best to keep these shoulders on the floor. This is protecting our spine here, like by what is the word I'm looking for? Maintaining, that's it, the twist here in the upper and mid back and not letting it extend way down low into the lower back. All right, now using the muscles on the outer thigh from our glutes. With control, bring that leg back up to center, excellent. Bend that knee, release, set your strap off to the side. Now, let's go ahead and draw both knees in, bending your knees into your chest. Do a little rocking from side to side, maybe a couple of circles here. Just taking care of that lower back. A little massage there from side to side. Okay, release your legs so both feet are flat, about as wide as your mat. And like windshield wipers, let's take both knees over to the right. Then lift up that right foot and set it on top of your left knee, just for a little added resistance here. Spread your arms nice and wide out to the side. And if you can, kind of adjust so that your shoulder blades are nice and flat underneath you. Release that right foot. Bring both knees back to center and then over to the left. Pick up that left foot, set it on top of the right knee. Keep the opening in the chest with the shoulders nice and flat on the floor. Release that left foot, bring both knees back to center. Go ahead and straighten out your legs in front of you. You can bring your arms a little closer into your side, maybe a foot or two away from your body, palms facing up to the ceiling. And just take a couple of minutes of breathing here to finish off your practice today, feeling nice and relaxed, calm, and stretched out. You could finish up your time here by reaching your arms up over your head, pointing through your toes. Reach through the fingers, reach through the toes. Lifting the arms up straight to the ceiling. Engage your abs again to lift yourself up nice and strong all the way up to a nice tall sitting posture, and then relax the arms down to the side. Okay guys, excellent job today. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.